I cleared it in under 30 seconds.
You what now?
I cleared that building in under 30 seconds. You guys would have been proud.
My golf game is weak, my kill game is strong.
It is the confession that rocked the upstate and pushed Spartanburg County into the national spotlight. 13 years of mystery unraveled in just 4 hours.
Tonight, for the first time, we're hearing every detail of 7 murders at the hands of Todd Kohlhepp. 7 News reporter Brianna Smith breaks it all down on the killer among us.
Now, we want to warn you, some viewers may find parts of the confession disturbing.
Cold-blooded confessions, details of Todd Kohlhepp's crimes would come spilling out of his mouth with ease. And a profile for Spartanburg County's serial killer was created.
I think at that point, he's like, okay, now it's time for my show. He said, sit back and watch this.
3 bodies buried, a woman found chained alive, and a cold case solved, all by the acts of Todd Kohlhepp. On Saturday, November 5th, investigators sat down in this tiny room at the Spartanburg County Sheriff's Office and got the confession of a lifetime.
Once we were in there and we realized the magnitude of what we were dealing with, yeah, it kind of hit home.
Investigators Mark Gaddy and Tommy Clark began to chip away at the mountain of a story that they were about to hear.
The land was supposed to be my
Sanctuary.
yeah, not my killing field.
While Mark was asking him questions about Kayla's case, I would ask him questions about superbikes.
The back and forth game of chess would go on for hours.
It's because I took Kayla for a walk without her handcuffs or leg chains. Took her for a walk around the property one day.
So you pulled out the Beretta, and what happened?
Shot the mechanic twice.
In between the bouts of secrets, Todd kept circling back to the things that mattered most to him.
We would stop the interview because he would go off on a little tangent.
There is a Ruger precision rifle that I've had tweaked in there.
We would let him talk about that.
Back on topic, investigators would search for a detail about Kayla and Charlie.
I didn't know what to do with it, man. One side I really wanted to drop her, the next side I kind of wanted to save her ass.
Then flipping to Superbike.
I will tell you that once I was engaged.
Okay. So
It's like at that point it's almost like a video game.
Going off the secrets that Kayla Brown relayed.
Did he ever tell you how many people he's killed out there?
Story-wise, he told me about 4.
Investigators were able to link body counts to missing couple Megan and Johnny Coxey that he picked up on the side of the road.
So that's when he picked him up and took him down to his property and said, I've got some work you can do. Let me go get some cleaning supplies.
And that's when Johnny pulled a knife out and
you shot him.
I shot him.
We didn't find a knife anywhere near Johnny, or he didn't direct us to a knife that was used.
Went ahead and cuffed her, patted her down, told her I wasn't going to hurt her.
And kept her held up in that container just like he kept Kayla.
She was happy as hell for like 2 days.
Okay.
She was happy as hell.
Whether she yelled or tried to make her run for it, he just shot her in the back of the head. And then he dug a hole and buried her beside Johnny.
While detectives wanted answers about his victims, Todd wanted to boast about his skills.
I cleared it in under 30 seconds.
You what now?
I cleared that building in under 30 seconds. You guys would have been proud. I'm sorry, but you guys would have been proud.
A skilled marksman, a calculated shooter, wearing 2 pairs of gloves to prep his ammunition, just in case he'd use it in a crime.
There was not a single piece of DNA that you can connect to him?
No, not even a fingerprint. Any of the fingerprints that were collected, none of them came back to him. He was careful how he touched things.
I used my knuckles instead of my hand to open the door.
So what happened to the Beretta, the gun from the Superbike case that investigators tested and searched for so many years?
They broke the weapon down that he used.
I stuck the barrel or the frame or something. One part went in the bag of used cat litter.
And threw it in the dumpsters of the apartment complex he lived at.
The crimes admitted, a motive revealed.
They proceeded to give me, more on the rude side, about my inability to ride that kind of bike.
Investigators reverted back to the customer list they created a decade earlier.
Sure, Todd's name was on that list.
And that's the only thing that connected him to the shop was he bought a Suzuki bike in April of 2003.
Yep. That was it.
Just 14 days after Todd bought that bike, he filed this report with the Spartanburg Police Department, saying that the bike was stolen from his Hunt Club apartment.
I had gone back to them a few days prior to it being stolen and told him that I was having a hard time riding it, and I was not so sure I had made a wise decision.
A stolen bike that led him back to Superbike Motorsports on November 6th, 2003.
Sat on a few bikes, basically stuck for time, and doing my best to make sure that the paying customers were not there.
That customer would see hundreds of lineups over the years, but now looks at one final picture.
Do you see the man that was in that bike shop that day?
From what I can remember and from what I told the police, yes. I mean, I don't think the picture lies.
A chapter in a 13-year novel closed.
For Johnny, for Megan, for Charlie, for Kayla, for Scott, for Brian, for Beverly, and for Chris, to finally get justice for them.
To bring peace to those involved.
Now that everything's done, I don't go by and go, you know, I know it's over with.
Fulfillment to those that touched this case.
I kind of got to see it from the beginning, and I kind of got to see it as it was coming to an end.
While questions rise about who we live among.
You have a serial killer living amongst us for 13 years. Who would have thought?
It's a lot to take in.
Yeah.
You know, I think one of the more interesting things is we hear his demeanor and how, you know, I would talk with investigators, did he twist it into his own reality? And they said there's no question of that. During that interview, he wanted it to be about his time. These are my buddies that I'm telling my story to. This is how I remember it. And those details for his victims are much different than the way that Todd told them. The story, the details of the story are the same, but how he spun it was much different.
Did they feel that after keeping this inside for 13 years, he wanted all this to come out? He gave every detail, it sounded like.
Yeah, they said that he wanted to tell it now, but they did say if he would have asked him 13 years ago, that he would have run and not told them those details. I think that's important.
All right, more coming up tomorrow.
Yeah.
All right, Brianna, thank you. Now, tomorrow, Sheriff Chuck Wright reflects on this historic case for Spartanburg County and how he felt to learn Kohlhepp walk the halls of his sheriff's office every year. It's all part of our special week-long series, A Killer Among Us, the unsealed files of Todd Kohlhepp. It continues tomorrow here on 7 News at 6.